How are you all? Hope your vacations are going great. Okay? So we are meeting after a weekend, after entire week. So I hope you guys are also revising what we have discussed till now in our regular class. Okay? Yes, everyone. So we have already finished the CBC syllabus. Now here I have taken some of the assignments from the chapters which we have already covered. So here I'm showing some questions on your screen, and one by one we will solving it. So the very first question is from the cell unit of life. Right? Which of the following is seen only in prokaryotes? I hope you guys remember the concept, the difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So it is, which of the following is exclusively seen in prokaryotes? Yes, what do you think? Lysosomes, this is found in eukaryotes only, right? Ribosomes are the structure, it is found in eukaryotes and prokaryotes, both. Yes. ER is exclusively found in the eukaryotes. So the only structure which is found exclusively in prokaryotes is mesosomes. Yes, any problem? I hope there won't be any problem to you guys, because you have all studied in the cell unit of life that prokaryotes do not have membrane bound organelle, whereas eukaryotes possess all the membrane bound organelle. And mesosome was actually what? The extension of plasma membrane in case of prokaryotes, if you remember. In case of prokaryotes, and it exists in the form of enfoldings. Yes, do you remember? These are enfoldings of plasma membrane actually. Enfoldings of plasma membrane which has several functions like DNA replication, okay? DNA replication, then cell division, else cell growth. It also increases surface area for enzymatic activities. So I hope you guys remember that mesosomes are the enfoldings of plasma membrane which has these many functions. Is that clear? Yes? Okay. Then the second question is, the concept of omnicellular cellulae regarding cell division was first proposed by, yes, it was first proposed by whom? It was actually given by Rudolf Virchow. Okay? Yes, because Aristotle was the first who gave the biological concept. Yes, he has given the first approach of biological classification. Yes. Okay, then Schwann and Schleiden together gave the cell theory. Yes, cell theory by Schleiden and Schwann, both cell theory, whereas Rudolf Virchow has given the omnicellular cellulae, that was the reformulation of cell theory. Is that clear? Yes. Next is pigment containing membranous extension in some cyanobacteria. Yes, pigment containing membranous extension in some cyanobacteria were chromatophores. These are such extensions of plasma membrane only which consist of pigment and are found in cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria are also called as BGA or the blue-green algae. Remember, blue-green algae or cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria. Do you remember what was the property of cyanobacteria? What is unique about cyanobacteria? Yes, anybody? So let us recall let us recall the features of cyanobacteria. Yes, I am going to tell you the properties. Yes, cyanobacteria are the first organisms which evolve oxygen. Yes, these are the first organisms which evolved oxygen on the earth. Yes, and that is the reason that they are regarded as the closest ancestor of plants. Yes, so they are regarded as the closest ancestor of plants because they perform photosynthesis and evolve oxygen. These are the bacteria which perform photosynthesis and evolve oxygen. Is that clear? One more point. These are the only bacteria which are capable of converting nitrogen into ammonia, and that was called as which process? The nitrogen fixation. Very, very important. You know, cyanobacteria are the organisms which are capable of converting nitrogen into ammonia that is actually absorbed by the plants. And the phenomenon which performs this the conversion of nitrogen into ammonia, this phenomenon is simply called as what? Nitrogen fixation. What do we call it? Nitrogen fixation. I hope you recall the concept that we discussed in our offline class. Okay. So my dear students, that is the reason that cyanobacteria are different from other bacteria, as they are the photosynthetic forms. They evolve oxygen, they are involved in nitrogen fixation, and also they are the closest ancestor of plant, right? And how they are able to perform this photosynthesis? Because they have the pigments chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B, which is similar to that present in the plants. Is that clear? Yes. So the answer is cyanobacteria consist of chromatophores where the pigments are stored. Is that clear? Moving ahead. Question number 4th. The motile bacteria can move by. Yes. For the movement we have flagella. Is that clear? See, cilia is present in eukaryotes. Cilia is present in eukaryotes. Pili in bacteria, they are present. Bacteria, they are present, but they are for mating or for reproduction process. If you remember, I have discussed that they are involved in the mating process like this. One bacteria and then another bacteria, they are involved in the mating. This is what? Pili. Remember, cilia are eukaryotes. Fimbria are what? They play a role in the attachment with the host or the substratum. Yes, remember, fimber-like, they play a role in the attachment process. Yes, and flagella are the one, they have role in the motility or the movement. Is that clear? So the answer is flagella. Okay. Several ribosomes may attach to the single mRNA from a chain called what? Simply, what do we call? See, this is mRNA, the ribosomes getting attached, So mRNA attached with ribosomes have two names. One is the polysome, one is called as polysome, another polyribosome. And yes, mention one more name here only, polysome, ribosome, and this is also called as ergasome. It is also called as ergasome. So the answer is polysome, polyribosome, here It is option number 4. Is that clear? Moving ahead. Chromatophores take part in growth, movement, respiration. No, it is involved in photosynthesis because it consists of photosynthetic pigments. Photosynthetic pigments. Is that clear? Yes. Next is respiratory enzymes occur in the bacterium. Yes. Respiratory enzymes occur in the bacteria in plasma membrane, Golgi bodies, mitochondria. See, this is quite tricky. Why? See, Golgi bodies, mitochondria and the ER. These are what? These are membrane bound organelle, right? These are membrane bound organelle. So these are not present in bacteria. Not present in bacteria, right? ये तो present ही नहीं होगा. इसका role तो अलग बात है. These are not even present in the bacteria. So how can we say they possess respiratory enzymes? And the respiratory enzymes in bacteria were present in which structure? Inside mesosomes. And what were mesosomes? Mesosomes were the enfoldings of plasma membrane only. Enfoldings of plasma membrane only. So that is why the answer will be plasma membrane, not this, not this, not this. Is that clear? Yes? Okay. Reserve material in prokaryotic cells is stored in the cytoplasm in the form of, yes, reserve material in prokaryote cell is stored in the cytoplasm in the form of, yes, it is pyrenoid, no, parallelum bodies, no, inclusion bodies which are bounded by membrane, no. Basically inclusion bodies are without, they are without any membrane bound structure. So the answer is inclusion bodies which are not membrane bound. Yes, remember they are exclusively, inclusion bodies are exclusively found in prokaryotes. Is that clear? Yes, moving ahead. The structures that help some bacteria to attach to rocks and host tissues are. The structures that help some bacteria to attach rocks and or host tissues, yes, we just read it in the previous slide, that was fimbriae, right? Yes, you can see in the previous slide. Here I told you. Yeah, these are the fimbriae. Fimbriae play role in the attachment, right? Yes. So the answer is the structures that help in attachment is fimbriae. Yes. Number 10 is the hypothesis that bodies of animals and plants are composed of cells and their products was proposed by, yes, body of animals and plant cells are composed of cells and the product was and their products only. This was also given by Rudolf Virchow. Is that clear? So that's all about your botany assignment. Yes. One more question. Prokaryotic cells, this was actually for homework that you guys were allotted, but let us discuss that also. Prokaryotic cells are dash and multiply dash than the eukaryotic cells. Yes. Prokaryotic cells are of course smaller and multiply faster as compared to that of eukaryotic cells. So here it will be smaller and here it will be faster. Right? Yes. Next is the hypothesis is done already. Cell theory was formulated by, yes, cell theory was formulated by Schleiden and Schwann, no doubt in that. Next, omnicellae, e-cellae, new cells arise from the pre-existing cells. This statement was given by Rudolf Virchow, yes. Who proposed a modification in cell theory again? Rudolf Virchow, Yes. What is true about the genetic material of prokaryotic cell? Yes. The genetic material of prokaryotic cells are called as incipient nucleus or the nucleoid. Does it lack histones? Yes, it lacks histones. See, what are histone? Histone are special proteins which are found in eukaryotes only. They are found in eukaryotes, but here they are talking about bacteria, so they do not have such proteins. So they lack histones. Yes. Not enveloped by nuclear membrane, that is also correct. Composed of a single circular DNA or molecule, that is also correct. So all of the options are correct. Yes. Okay. Number 6, unicellular organisms. Yes. What are unicellular organisms? The unicellular organisms are not capable of independent existence because they cannot perform all the essential functions. No. Everything or anything which is just having a cell is able to perform all the essential functions of life. So this option is incorrect. Not capable of independent existence, but they can perform their essential vital functions, not that precise. Capable of independent existence and performing all the essential vital activities. Yes. Yes. Why? Because if anything that is having cell is capable of showing independent existence and all the vital functions also they can perform. Capable of independent existence and performing all the essential functions. Is that clear? Moving ahead. Select the right option which relates to Schwann regarding the following statement. He reported that cells have a thin outer layer which is today known as plasma membrane. Schwann regarding the following statement, no. Cell wall is unique character of plant cell. Yes, this is correct. Sorry, this is correct. Then body of plant and animal cells are composed of cell. Body of plant and animal cell is composed of cells and its products. So yes, second and third statement are correct. All other are incorrect. Okay, this is incorrect. Second and third is correct. So the answer is third. Second and third are correct. Is that clear? So that was all about your botany part assignment to be solved. Now I am moving to zoology. Okay. Yes. All right. Okay. Let's go with the zoology part. Question number 1 is displayed on your screen. Write an important component which gives the red color to the blood is. Yes, very simple, very easy. I think you all, even those who have not attended the first class, they can also easily answer. That is, an important component which gives the red color to the blood is the hemoglobin, the iron containing pigment. What is hemoglobin, by the way? The iron containing pigment. It is iron containing pigment. Okay, and that makes the blood appear red in color. Okay, the amount of blood, yes, how much amount of blood is present in our body? It is 5 liters equivalent to 5000 ml. Right? The answer is 5 liters. Yes. Serum was what? Blood minus clotting factor. Yes. What is serum? If you remove blood minus clotting factor, okay, if you remove blood minus clotting factor, then what will you get? You will get the serum. Right? So what is the clotting factor in our blood? It is the protein fibrinogen. So simply Serum is blood minus corpuscles, blood without or simply plasma without fibrinogen. Okay, yes. Moving ahead. Mark among the following a cell that does not exhibit phagocytic activity. Yes. You remember what is phagocytic activity? The cells, this is the immune cells and has ability to digest all the unwanted or the foreign particle. Is that clear? So this foreign particle will be digested by this dagger-like teeth organism, right? So any organism performing such type of activity is called as phagocytic activity, means consuming and digesting the solid particles, right? So monocytes, yes, they do perform. Neutrophils, yes, they do perform. Macrophages, they do perform, but the basophils do not perform the phagocytic activity. So the answer will be, yes, the answer will be all the three perform the phagocytic activity except the basophils. What did I say? What is phagocytic activity? These are the immune cells having dagger-like teeth consuming the foreign particles. This activity is called as phagocytic activity. So such activity is shown by monocytes, neutrophils, macrophages, but not by the basophils. That is why answer is basophils. Alright. Moving ahead, conversion of prothrombin into thrombin requires two factors. One was thromboplastin, another is calcium ions. We have already discussed while learning the blood clotting. Thromboplastin is the enzyme, and calcium is the ion, right? Yes, clotting of the blood of a wound involves, okay. Clotting of a blood of a wound involves what? Evaporation of the plasma? No. Blood albumin dissolution? No, because albumin was involved for the osmotic balance. Osmotic balance, that has nothing to do with the clotting, okay. Hemolysis of the red blood cells? No, that is also not required. The answer is conversion of fibrinogens to the fibrin by the enzyme thrombin, because it will make the clot, or it will simply allow the blood to stop bleeding. Is that clear? So conversion of fibrinogen into fibrin, and that is under the presence of enzyme or the protein thrombin. Is that clear? And this is what happens during the clotting, right? Next question is, in a closed blood vascular system, blood is completely enclosed within the blood vessels, right? This is, we are talking about the circulatory system which is of closed type. Is that clear? Alright. The cardiovascular system comprised of, cardiovascular means your circulatory system. Yes, the circulatory system consists of three components. What are they? The heart, the blood vessels, and the heart, the blood vessels, and the blood itself. So what is the option? Heart, blood vessels, and the blood itself. Answer is third. Okay. Kidneys are not involved in circulatory system. Is that clear? Yes. All right. So next, the function of RBC is to carry oxygen, CO2, and also maintain the pH of blood. So yes, answer is all of these, right? Next is, in human blood, the type of cells which lack a nucleus, that is only RBCs, they do not have nucleus, because all other are WBCs and they have nucleus. Only RBCs do not have nucleus. Okay, now moving to your homework part. Which blood cells are the largest in size? Yes, which blood cells are the largest in size? Yes, would you like to answer it? Yes, the cells which are largest in size are monocytes. Among RBCs, neutrophils, platelets, all the most abundant are here the platelets, but the largest in size are the monocytes. Okay, platelets are also called the thrombocytes. Okay, yes, next is the most abundant white blood cells are neutrophils. These are 60% of the total. These are 60% of the total white blood cells. Okay, the fluid connective tissue in the human body is blood, because it connects different body parts and the organs. The blood carried from your kidney to your liver, then to your stomach, abdomen or the gastric tract, and then coming back to the heart for purification, then from lungs, and like that. So connecting different body part, that is why blood is regarded as the fluid connective tissue. Oxygen is mainly transported in blood by hemoglobin. Right? Next is what? Which component of blood fight against parasite? Which component of blood fights against the parasite? And that is your eosinophils. They fight against the allergic reactions and the worms also. Answer is eosinophils. Right? Which blood cell has lobed nucleus and granules in the cytoplasm? Yes, the answer is neutrophils. Okay? Yes, the one having lobed nucleus is the neutrophils. Right? Okay. Which among the following lacks a nucleus? Again, the answer is RBCs. Okay? Then which of the following is not formed element of blood? Yes, among formed elements we have WBCs, RBCs, platelets, but plasma is not the formed elements. It is the 55% of the total blood itself. If we see the blood composition, we have 55% plasma, and we have 45% the formed elements. And in formed elements we have three. What are they? The WBCs, the RBCs, and the platelets. Right? So answer is plasma. Plasma is separate component from that of formed elements. These are formed elements, WBCs, RBCs, platelets, whereas plasma is the major component of blood itself. Okay. The blood cells involved in immunity. The blood cells involved in immunity are the WBCs, which are commonly called as leukocytes. Is that clear? Very easy, very simple. So that's all about your zoology part also. Now what you guys want me to do? Okay, so let us discuss one very important topic, though we have already done that, but many of you might have not done. So I'm going to take with the R.H. Whittaker classification or the 5 kingdom classification. Right? So let us revise 5 kingdom classification once. Okay? Shall I start with the 5 kingdom classification? Yes, how many of you have already done? I think majority of you guys would have already done the 5 kingdom classification. Okay, so I hope you guys recall it very well. But if many of you or if any of you is not, or those who have not done R.H. Whittaker classification, they can do it or they can revise it now. Okay. Yeah, so let us start with a very important topic, that is 5 Whittaker classification. Why it is important? Because in the next class, in the next upcoming Saturday's class, I'll be giving assignments from the R.H. Whittaker's classification, right? That is why I am telling it is very important for you, not only for the next assignment, rather also for your upcoming exam. Okay? All right. Okay. The five kingdom classification. The five kingdom classification was given by whom? Yes, anybody? Was given by R.H. Whittaker. Right? The five kingdom classification was given by R.H. Whittaker. Okay. And was given in 1969. Okay. All right. Yes. So can you just tell me what are the five kingdoms as per Whittaker's classification? Yes. Anybody? Though many of you must be knowing the five kingdoms are the Monera, the Protista, the fungi, plantae and animalia, right? Many of you already remember that the five kingdom classification has the kingdoms I am going to write over here. Monera, second is Protista, followed by the fungi, followed by plantae and animalia. Right? Yeah. So one by one, we will be talking about its feature. Okay? Actually, I am going to discuss five kingdom classification and its characteristics only. So what were the kingdoms? Kingdom Monera, okay. Kingdom Protista, okay. Followed by fungi, all right. Followed by plantae and then animalia. Okay. So these are the kingdom which we are known to be discovered as per five kingdom classification. Now there are certain points, there are certain features that we need to discuss over here, and I am going to write those characteristics which includes the five kingdom classification characteristics. Okay, yes. What are the features? I am going to write it one by one. Number one is cell type. Number one is cell type. Number two is the nuclear membrane. The nuclear membrane. Number three is cell wall. Number four is body organization. And number five is mode of MON. What does MON stands for? Not Monday. It is MON that stands for mode of nutrition. Is that clear? That is mode of nutrition. Okay. Yes. All right. Okay then. Let us consider one by one. Let us consider one by one. Will you try that which kingdom has which feature as per these characteristics of five kingdom classification? Yes? Okay. Alright. See. Cell type. Yes, what do you think? Monera consists of which type of cell type? Eukaryotic or the prokaryotic type? See, Monera was the only kingdom. If you remember, we have two types of cell, the prokaryotes and the eukaryotes. And my dear students, among the 5 kingdoms, Monera was the pity one. Why Monera was the pity one? Because that was the only kingdom which have prokaryotic cell. That is, they do not have well membrane bound nucleus. They do not have membrane bound organelle. They do not have division of liver. They have everything that has to be done by themselves only. No division of liver. So they were the pity one. वो बिचारे हैं, उनके पास कुछ भी advanced नहीं है. And what type of cell they have? They have prokaryotic cell types, or they are simply prokaryotes. Okay. While what about protista, fungi, plantae, animalia? All are eukaryotes. Okay. All are eukaryotes. All are eukaryotes. That is, well, division of liver. Okay. All right. Moving ahead, the nuclear membrane. I just discussed prokaryotes lack nuclear membrane, whereas eukaryotes possess nuclear membrane. So it would be present, not present over here. It will not be present over here. Yes, yes, and yes, because Monera do not have the nuclear membrane. So here it is absent. Here it is plus. Here also plus. Okay. Yes, plus and plus. Nuclear membrane is present. All right. Cell wall, it is present. Yes. Protista, present in some. Okay. Fungi, yes, it was present. Plantae, yes, it was present. Animalia, it is simply absent. But here for us, it is important to mention that cell wall is made up of. Very, very important. See, the place where cell wall is present, we need to mention its composition. Like in fungi, it is made up of chitin. It is made up of chitin. Whereas in plantae, it is made up of cellulose. Very, very important. It was made up of cellulose. Then in protista, it was present in some. Can be made up of cellulose or silica. We will see it is also made up of silica. That means, in short, we can say they are either cellulosic or non-cellulosic. We can say what? Let me write. Can be cellulosic, and non-cellulosic both. Cellulosic or non-cellulosic both. Is that clear? Then in Monera we remember it is simply made up of peptidoglycans. That is the protein, some amino acids and sugars. Peptide for amino acids, I mean protein part, and glycans means sugar. All right. Body organization, these are always cellular because they are they are unicellular prokaryotic. They are unicellular eukaryotic. So the body organization will be again cellular. Yes. Fungi are with loose tissue. Yes. Any confusions? Plantae are with tissue and tissue system, are with tissue and tissue system, whereas animals or the animalia are the most advanced. They have organ system level of organization. Organ system level of organization. And my dear students, you must be aware of one thing, and that is what? That is, if we are saying organism have organ system level of organization, if we are saying an organism has organ system level of organization, that is understood that is understood that all the lower forms, the cellular, tissue system, all is including, because an organism cannot form organ system without its lower systems, without tissue, without organ, without tissue system, right? Means if I'm saying I'm the most advanced version of any organism, so definitely I'm including the lower forms, right? So if an organism is having organ system level of organization or organ level of organization, that is understood that tissue or tissue system is definitely present over there. Is that clear? Then mode of nutrition in Monera. Mode of nutrition in Monera is, they can be autotrophs, or they can be heterotrophs, depending, they can be parasitic, or they can be saprophytes. Okay? Then Protista can be autotrophs and heterotrophs both. Followed by fungi are always saprotrophs or saprophytes. Plantae are only autotrophs, whereas animalia are heterotrophs with the most advanced type of mode of nutrition, that is what? Holozoic mode of nutrition. Is that clear? Yes. So in the next assignment, you guys would be asked with the questions from this table. Many of the questions will be from the same table. So you must need to recall these questions, these points, right? In your exam also, in your main exam also, if you are able to scan, if you are able to remember this table, you guys are going to solve all the questions so precisely and you can score very well. Alright, so this was about R.H. Whittaker classification. Now there is one more point that is very often asked in your examination, and that is the questions from the limitations. Which limitations? Which kingdom classification limitations? See, in the 5 kingdom classification we have already solved the limitation. So the limitations were present in 2 kingdom classification. So I am giving the limitations of 2 kingdom classification, right? I hope you guys have already studied in your class, but if not studied, that I am going to discuss it with you all. Yes. Limitations of 2 kingdom classification. What is that? Limitations of 2 kingdom classification. Now let us understand. See, according to 2 kingdom classification, if you remember, according to 2 kingdom classification, if you remember, we have Plantae and the kingdom Animalia, right? These were the only 2 kingdoms. Now, I am giving the list of organisms in the left hand side. See, ferns, algae, protozoa or protozoans, bacteria, okay, mosses, okay, insects, okay, reptiles, right, mammals, okay, alright. And I just want you guys to place them in the right category, and the categories are Plantae and Animalia. These are actually 2 kingdoms, okay. Can you just place these organisms into these 2 kingdoms? Yes, let us see. See, Ferns are the ornamental plant. So plants, so ferns are placed over here. Yes, algae are again plants placed over here. Protozoans are animal-like. So let us differentiate animals in red color. As they have blood. Protozoans, Animalia. Insects, Animalia. Reptiles, Animalia. And mammals are also Animalia. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, whereas 1, 2, 3 and 4. So let us write ferns are there, algae are there, bacteria because they possess cell wall, they are also placed in Plantae. Okay, bacteria are also placed in Plantae, whereas the fourth are the mosses. So don't you think before writing this bacteria into Plantae, you guys were little bit in dilemma whether we should place the bacteria in Plantae or not? Yes? What was the reason? What was the reason to place bacteria for Plantae? What was the reason to place bacteria in Plantae? The only reason was that bacteria possess cell wall, and all the cell wall bearing organisms, we need to place them in Plantae. So that was the only reason. But my dear students, is it justified? Is that justified to place bacteria along with the Plantae? No, na. Why? Because ferns, algae, mosses, all these are of bigger size. They possess leaves, they possess root, they possess stem, whereas bacteria do not possess such things. They only have cell wall. But was it justified to place along with Plantae? No. Just because Carolus Linnaeus, who has given two kingdom classification, he said that cell wall bearing organisms should be placed in Plantae. That is the only reason that we place bacteria into plant kingdom. But it was not justified. So this is one of the limitations, that we placed unicellular prokaryotic bacteria, into Plantae. Is that clear? So let us write is in the form of limitations. Number one limitation is placing unicellular along with multicellular organism. Unicellular and multicellular are placed together. Okay, this is number one limitation. Right? Number two is what? Number two is not only unicellular. Bacteria are also what? Prokaryotes. Others are what? Eukaryotes. So, prokaryotes and eukaryotes are placed together. This is also one limitation. Alright. And what is number three then? What is number three? That it's not only this, rather if I would have mentioned fungi, then where would we have placed fungi? Fungi would also be placed in the kingdom Plantae. The only reason is that it bears cell wall. So is that justified? Is that justified to place a non-photosynthetic organism? Like fungi is saprophyte, right? It's a non-photosynthetic organism placed in the photosynthetic organism, that is along with Plantae. So this was also not a justified point to place in the Plantae. So the third limitation is placing a non-photosynthetic organism with the photosynthetic one, that is fungi. So let us mention it here. Number third is non-photosynthetic organism placed with photosynthetic organism. Is that clear? Yes? All right. So non-photosynthetic organism placed along with the photosynthetic organism. These are the three limitations. Oh, we erased it. So let us undo it. Okay. So these are the three limitations. Now we can just erase these things. This was all for understanding, whereas the three limitations we have discussed on the screen. Is that clear? So now if you see the table that I explained you guys just before this limitation, if you compare these limitations with that table, my dear students, you will get to know that now according to 5 kingdom classification, we have solved all the 3 limitations. What were the limitations? Unicellular and multicellular are placed together. Unicellular and multicellular are placed together. Prokaryotes, eukaryotes are placed together. Okay, and photosynthetic, non-photosynthetic placed together. But if you see just the previous slide, look at the slide. This previous slide, there is none of the limitations are left in this table. So, if somebody asks you the 3 limitations of 2 kingdom classification, was it solved in the RS Whittaker? So yes, you can see we have separated the bacteria. See, we have separated the bacteria and kept in Monera. Then among bacteria also, when we separated all the unicellular in the limitation, if we see, first of all, we separated all the unicellular forms. Number 1 limitations, all the unicellular forms were separated from the multicellular in kingdom Protista. Right? Once we saw the Protista, it was having 2 type of organism. All unicellular were there, that was fine. But along with the prokaryotes, it also have eukaryotes. So in the second category, what we have done, in the second category, we have separated all the prokaryotes separate, right? In the Protista, all the unicellular forms were there, but initially it have prokaryotes and also it has eukaryotes. Okay? So in the next step number 2, we have separated all the prokaryotes here, all the prokaryotes, and behind we are just left with the unicellular eukaryotes. We are just left with the unicellular eukaryotes. So now Protista have unicellular eukaryotes, whereas the Monera have unicellular prokaryotes. Is that clear? What have we done here? The very first was unicellular, multicellular placed together. We separated all the unicellular in a kingdom. But there we saw the unicellular prokaryotes are also coming. So later we separated prokaryotes, unicellular prokaryotes, and placed them in a separate kingdom Monera, whereas the unicellular eukaryotes were separately placed in Protista. Right? So we have solved these 2 limitations along with the Monera and Protista kingdom. Right? And the third was non-photosynthetic organism placed with the photosynthetic. So this was solved with the next kingdom, this third limitation, that is separating non-photosynthetic from the photosynthetic. We have done it in the kingdom fungi. Like we have separated kingdom fungi and we have isolated fungi from the plantae kingdom. So I hope with this table we have explained all the 3 limitations of 2 kingdom classification. So in the 2 kingdom classification, we had just 2 kingdoms, the plantae and the animalia. But after solving all the 3 limitations, at present we have 5 kingdoms that you can see on the board. Yes, any confusion still here? Yes. Okay, so I'll be sharing few questions among these table and the concept that we studied so far, and you guys have to answer it. All right? Okay. Yes. I hope you guys would be able to solve it. Which of the following do not belongs to kingdom Monera? Yeah. Please try. We just discussed that all the type of bacteria. Yeah. In our previous lectures which we have conducted online, we have studied the mycoplasma are the smallest bacteria. Remember, mycoplasma are the smallest bacteria, also known as PPLO. Okay, PPLO. Yeah, and cyanobacteria are the common name for BGA. Cyanobacteria are the bluish green algae, or simply the photosynthetic bacteria. Okay, yeah. Blue-green algae are also the same. So, all three are bacteria, but this is a protozoa. This is a protozoa that belongs to Protista, that is a unicellular eukaryote. Unicellular eukaryote. So, the answer is amoeba. Is that clear? All right. One more question. Yes, please try. Which of the following is incorrect statement regarding fungi? Yes. Fungi are, yes, are the fungi eukaryotic or prokaryotes? Fungi are eukaryotes or fungi are prokaryotes? See, there is only one kingdom, that is Monera, which is what? Prokaryote. All other kingdoms are eukaryotes. Okay, so fungi is eukaryote, fungi are saprophytes. They have ATS type of ribosome because they are eukaryote. So the only thing which is incorrect over here is cell wall absent. Okay, cell wall is present in fungi and it was made up of chitin. Is that clear? So I hope you guys have got the concept which I tried to deliver with you, and this is all which you might be asked or which you will be given in the form of assignments. So please complete it, please revise it, whatever we discussed today, and let's meet tomorrow in the next week, Saturday. Alright, that's all about today. Thank you. Have a good day.